Men don't fall in love because sex was good. They fall in love because the sex aligned with something their soul didn't know it was looking for. A man does not bond with a woman because of what happens in the bedroom. He bonds because of the state of her energy in the bedroom. And let's talk about one mistake that we as women we make all the time. We think that men fall in love through intensity. No. Men don't fall in love because of intensity. Men fall in love because of impact. And the impact comes from how you make his spirit feel when you're making love to him, not how you make his body react. Because there is a stark difference between stimulating a man and imprinting on him. Anybody can stimulate him, but only a certain woman can imprint on him. Some sex hits his body. Some sex hits his mind. But the sex that can make him fall in love hits his identity, using sex to compensate for emotional emptiness. A man can feel when a woman is using intimacy to fill a void. He might enjoy the sex for the minute, for the time being. He might come back for the pleasure, but he will never attach, he will never stay, he will never attach to you emotionally, because his subconscious knows that you're feeding off him. You're not connecting with him. See, when sex makes him feel like a better man, bestie, his soul attaches before his mind has even caught up. Hey besties, aloha. Now, without waste of time, I'm going to tell you something because I love you and I am not going to sugarcoat anything tonight. You know, when we're talking like this, I'm not coming as some expert sitting on a high chair. I am coming like a girl who has sat in enough conversations, watched enough situations, and has learned enough male psychology to know exactly how these men think and react to certain situations. And today we're going to talk about something most of us women don't understand completely, or we simply misunderstand completely. And that's sex. And baby girl, it's not the act. We've been talking about the act a long time. We're not talking about the act. If you notice, we've gravitated, we've evolved. We're on the other side of what intimacy is about. I mean, we're going to talk about the psychology behind this kind of sex that make a man fall in love with you, even without realizing he's already halfway gone. And let me warn you right now. Everything that I'm about to say to you is backed by real male behavior, real emotional patterns, real nervous system responses, and real situations that we've all seen play out. Because men tend to pretend to be simple beings until you hit that part of them that isn't simple at all. And that's what we are going into today. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because I'm ready. So settle down, relax, leave all of your assumptions at the door, and let's talk like best friends who tell each other the truth without flinching. Now listen, right? On a serious note, men like to act like sex doesn't touch them emotionally. They will tell you, oh, it's just physical. Oh, it's just sex. They will tell you it's just routine. They will tell you it's something they can do without thinking. And of course, that might be true. But especially when they don't care about the woman, or they're not emotionally open to that woman that they're with. But once a man feels safe with you, even a little tiny bit, sex becomes psychological for him. It starts speaking to his insecurities. It starts speaking to his ego, his comfort, his vulnerability. And it also speaks to that part of him that he doesn't show to just anybody, even if he doesn't realize it is happening. That's why you would see a man acting distant before sex, but soft as a cotton afterwards. Or you see him acting confident before sex, but suddenly quiet and observant after sex. That's because sex reached him somewhere deeper than he expected. Are you guys ready? Are you ready for this conversation? So, there are 5 kinds of sex that do this every single time: slow sex, vulnerable sex, reassuring sex, surrender sex, memory sex. I'm sure you guys did not know that there are 5 types of sex, even more than that. But we're going to focus on 5 types of sex that can make a man fall in love with you without even realizing it. Capiche, he's gone. I am going to break them down for you. Shun, are you hearing me? Now let's start with slow sex. And please listen with your whole chest. Because slow sex hits a man differently because it ruins his ego strategy. See, men go into sex wanting to perform. They think that sex is a stage and they're supposed to show up like they are giving a TED talk with their body. But when you slow a man down, you take him out of performance mood and you drop him into presence mood. Because slow sex forces him to feel instead of act. His nervous system just relaxes. His breathing changes. His mind just shuts up for a moment. And suddenly, he's not thinking about impressing you. He's not thinking about performing. He's reacting to you. And when a man starts reacting instead of performing, yeah, bestie, that's when he gets emotionally exposed. He doesn't even know it's happening. His body just begins to shift into the part of the nervous system that creates bonding with you. That is why slow sex lingers in his mind. Because it makes him feel safe. It makes him feel connected on a deeper level. It makes him feel calm. And whether he wants to admit it or not, men fall for the woman who makes their spirit relax. Are you hearing me? Now let's talk about vulnerable sex. Because this is the one men will never confess to. Men are not used to being emotionally open. They don't get many safe spaces in their lives. So they are taught to be strong, to be quiet, to be controlled. So when a man is with a woman and suddenly he feels like he can let go just a little, like he can breathe differently, like he doesn't have to pretend, that moment hits him somewhere he can never explain. Because vulnerable sex, it releases oxytocin. And oxytocin builds trust. And trust builds emotional attachment. And this is not romance. This is biology. So he may leave that night thinking everything is normal, but his subconsciousness is already tying you to safety. Now let's talk about reassuring sex. Reassuring sex is even deeper. And every man you see walks around with one silent question in his mind: am I enough? Am I enough? And he will never tell you this. He may not even admit it to himself, but that insecurity lives in most of them. And when you assure a man during sex that he's enough for you, not just with words, but with presence, with your softness, with your responsiveness, the way you hold him, the way you twist your waist, the way you show desire for him, it calms that insecurity instantly. The way you desire him in bed, the way you ravage him, the way you handle his trumpet, the way you blow it with passion. You're not blowing it out of obligation, you're blowing it because you like it. Because it is your own thing, it is your trumpet, it is your mic. You blow it because you are the author and finisher of that mic. You like it. You like how it looks. You like the strength. You like the vein. You like the texture. You like the cap. And he senses it. You're not just slopping. You're not gulping and slopping like, I mean, if If you don't like it, you can't gulp. You can't slop on it. But you're slopping on it with so much passion and reverence. He's the one begging you to stop, but you're not stopping because you want to snatch his soul. You want to teach him a lesson that he will never be able to learn from another woman. In fact, he will be with another woman and in his head, that's a shambles sex. I wish I never did it. There is no point because nobody can satisfy me like Jane can. That's the level you take him to when you assure that man in bed. You hold the mic and you speak in tongues on it. Lebradosa, talabaliaron taleyaza. Okay, we're getting out of hand. You assure him when he stands before you without clothes on. He doesn't feel judged. He feels accepted. Like he sees your eyes on him and he sees ownership in your eyes. That's an assurance. Even if he's a man with 3 inches and you give him that assurance, he will fall in love. You go nowhere, sister. Because not every woman gives a man that sort of assurance. There are ways that you blow his mic like this, ba. He will wonder, why did she take her time like that? It's like she likes it. Because not every woman takes her time to give me that blowing. This one blew me and blew my soul away. So it's not only women that want assurance in the bedroom, or men want assurance. So when you give him reassurance sex, reassurance blowing, the assurance that makes him reach cloud 9 and back, he falls in love with you. And men, let me let you know something, ba. You might not have the length or the width or the girth, but once a woman loves you, she doesn't care about it, I'm sure. Once a woman truly loves you, I don't think that most of them care about it. Am I lying, ladies? Am I lying? Because if you love a man, his size is enough for you, even if it's a pinky. It's enough. And pinky is enough to get you to your orgasm. Abi? But it might not scratch down there. So one of the reasons why we women, we want it hefty is so that it can be hitting the corners and scratching the cervixes. It can be scratching the cervix. It can be scratching the A spot, the G spot there. You know what I mean? But aside that, when a woman loves you deeply, that any size is good enough to get her to cloud 9 and back. So it's just in the way that you hold him. It's the way that you show desire for him in bed. It just calms that insecurity in every man instantly. His nervous system begins to read it as acceptance. And acceptance is a bonding trigger for men, big time. So when a man feels accepted, he just automatically attaches involuntarily. And that's why he suddenly becomes softer, more attentive, or even more protective over you after being with you who made him feel accepted. And now the one that sneaks up on men the hardest is surrender sex. I surrender. Oh, I surrender. Oh. If you get a man to singing, I surrender to you, or he even moans, I surrender, baby. I surrender to you. Kill me, finish me. I am all yours. This mic is not for any woman. Any woman who sees this mic, let her perish. Except you take a man to that point. Hey, you have not done anything yet. You guys are just lucky that YouTube does not allow me to go deeper. I would have told you how to bring him to a place of surrender in bed. I am not over dramatical, but I'm telling you, because women, we don't know the power that we hold. You don't know the power that you hold in the bedroom. They play. They play. Hmm. Mm. Now, let me explain what surrender sex is. This is a moment when the man stops controlling and starts feeling. He lets go without losing his masculinity. He synchronizes with you, body to body, soul to soul. His rhythm follows your body's rhythm. Hey! Oh, have you ever made love to a man and your bodies are in sync? Like the rhythm is, your body is matching ears, especially when it's slow love making. There is synchronicity. Like, and both of you are out of this world. You're feeling the sensation. You're making the sounds. Like the sounds are not artificial, they're not forced, they're just from a place of passion, deep, water seated passion. Sounds of, maybe I am exaggerating, Sha, but you know what I mean. So it's beyond you performing, it's beyond both of you performing. You're reaching each other's souls. His body is responding to your lead without him feeling less of a man. That moment basically just creates an emotional attunement, which is one of the strongest bonding states human experience. Now, he might not even talk about it, he might not even understand it, and he might be silent afterwards, but he will remember how he felt around you in bed, how you made him feel, how you touch a part that just few persons have touched, or maybe no one has ever touched. Do you get? Finally, the memory sex. This is the one that stays with him long after you have gone home the next day. And this type of sex becomes an emotional bookmark in his mind. You know, the male brain stores emotional experiences that feel different. It stores emotional experiences that feel comforting, soothing, assuring, deeply connecting. So when he experiences that kind of emotion with you, it becomes the scene his mind plays back when he's alone, when he's stressed, when he's bored, when he's missing something he can't really explain. So, and he may move on physically from you, but mentally, he keeps coming back to the woman who gave him emotional significance. And that's why you will be the last thing he thinks about when he goes to bed at night. So now that we've broken down the first layer, let me take you into the part that nobody tells us women. The part men will never confess even under pressure. Because the truth is, it's not the sex itself that makes a man fall in love. It is what the sex awakens inside him. It is the mirror it holds up to his soul. And if you've ever wondered why a man sleeps with 10 women but only gets emotionally attached to one, this is the answer right here that I want to give to you. You guys should be giving me super thanks too, because I'm giving you deep shit, deep stuff. Now, listen, a man can detach from sex, but he cannot detach from experience. He cannot detach from meaning, the meaning that you created, maybe unconsciously. A man remembers the woman who reached him, not the woman who performed for him. And there is a reason for that. Every man carries emotional pressure points inside him. Every man carries identity, worth, ego, peace, vulnerability, validation. And the kind of sex that makes him fall in love without realizing it is the kind that touches those pressure points one by one. It disarms him so quietly he thinks nothing happened until he finds himself acting differently, thinking differently, wanting differently, desiring differently. All right? And let's talk about one mistake that we as women we make all the time. We think that men fall in love through intensity. No. Men don't fall in love because of intensity. Men fall in love because of impact. And the impact comes from how you make his spirit feel when you're making love to him, not how you make his body react. Because there is a stark difference between stimulating a man and imprinting on him. Anybody can stimulate him, but only a certain woman can imprint on him. Let me take you a little deeper. Some sex hits his body. Some sex hits his mind. But a sex that can make him fall in love hits his identity. And that's rare. It shifts how he sees himself. It shifts how he sees you. It shifts how he shows up. And he doesn't even understand why. Now, let's talk about reflective sex real quick, because this is one of the most powerful bonding triggers for men. Reflective sex is when he sees a different version of himself in your eyes. That's that's magnetic. That's powerful. Not the hustling, not the stress, not the guarded version, not the boy carrying childhood wounds, but the man who wants to be, the man he imagines himself becoming. See, when sex makes him feel like a better man, bestie, his soul attaches before his mind has even caught up. That is why some men protect certain women without knowing why. Because she made him feel like his higher self or his highest self. Now, let's talk about peace sex, because this one is a killer. Most men live in constant state of survival. They live in pressure, expectations, responsibilities, silent battles, even unspoken fears. Their mind is noisy. Their heart is tired. So when he enters a woman and his entire nervous system quiets down, when his breathing softens, when the tension reduces or lessens, when his instinct says you are safe here, that moment rewires him. See, men don't fall in love with their excitement. Men fall in love with their peace. So any woman that becomes his peace becomes unforgettable. Then there is mirroring sex. And this is when his body syncs with yours without effort. When his rhythm follows yours naturally. When he doesn't have to impress you or dominate you or prove himself. When both of you fall into the same emotional groove without thinking. That synchronization just basically creates a psychological phenomenon called emotional mirroring. And men bond deeply through it without knowing why. He leaves and his nervous system stays with you. And I need you to hear this, women. I need you to hear this one with your full chest. With your full chest. Men fall in love through vulnerability they didn't plan for. See, planned vulnerability doesn't bond a man. What bonds a man is emotional accidents. When he lets something slip, an insecurity, a softness, he lets a quiet moment of honesty slip through him during or after sex, and you receive it with gentleness instead of judgment. that moment buries itself in him. It tells his subconsciousness, she sees me, this woman sees me, and I am safe with her. That is a bonding trigger stronger than any pleasure. But the final one is what finishes them: echo sex. This is when the experience doesn't end in the moment, it echoes in his mind in the days after that sex. Something about it just replays itself. Your scent, your calmness, your energy, even how you smell down there, the way you held him, the way you looked at him. Something he cannot necessarily shake. And the more it echoes, the more emotionally tied he becomes to you. He may not even text you, he may not even talk to you, he may not even act normal, but internally, you're already living rent free in his emotional memory. And I need you to take this home. Men don't fall in love because sex was good. They don't. They fall in love because the sex aligned with something their soul didn't know it was looking for. Now let's get into the real heart of the matter, because this is where we as women, we get it confused. See, you can give a man the same sex another woman gave him, even better, even sweeter, and he still won't attach to you the way he would attach to her. Why? Because it was never the act, it was never the sex, it was the energetic signature behind the act. It was the woman. It was not the performance. It was not the show. And until you understand what makes a woman unforgettable to a man emotionally, not sexually, you will keep thinking it's about how you move, how you sound, how you look, how you saddle. It's deeper, it's internal, it's psychological, it's spiritual. That's why you have to mind fuck this, guys. Let me tell you the truth. A man does not bond with a woman because of what happens in the bedroom. He bonds because of the state of her energy in the bedroom. He bonds because his nervous system feels something around her that he doesn't feel with anybody else. And I'm going to break down the exact women who trigger that feeling without even trying. Now, the first type is the emotionally regulated woman. Men don't talk about this, but they feel it instantly. See, when a woman has control over her emotions, not in a cold way, but in a grounded way, her presence feels safe. She doesn't even react impulsively. She doesn't create tension, and she doesn't also demand validation. She doesn't even weaponize vulnerability. Her spirit is settled, and that settled energy transfers to her man. Bessie, let me tell you something. Men become addicted to peace because they rarely have it. And nothing bonds a man faster than a woman who calms the noise inside his chest. Men don't like dramatic women, okay? They don't. In fact, they don't last with dramatic women. So the second type is a feminine but not chaotic woman. See, a lot of women think femininity is about softness or dependence or sensuality. No. True feminine energy is receiving, is attuning, it is responding. It is a woman who knows how to open and not crumble. A woman who knows how to soften and not beg. It is a woman who can let a man lead without losing her own identity, or lead him gently without bruising his ego. See, when that kind of woman is intimate with a man, she creates a sort of rhythm that he cannot fight. And it oftentimes feels like a magnet that he didn't approve, but he cannot just escape it, no matter how hard he tries. Now let's talk about the third one, because this one is dangerous. Sis, it is dangerous. It is the woman with emotional depth. See, men do not fall in love with shallow women, even if the sex is good. They fall in love, or they fall for women who make them feel something they didn't expect. They fall for a woman who sees beyond their surface, a woman whose presence carries meaning. And depth doesn't mean complication, it means she has a world inside her, and he feels like she brought him into it. This is a woman who makes him quiet after sex. This is a woman who makes him think after sex. This is a woman he remembers when life humbles him. See, emotional depth imprints on men. If you want to imprint on a man, have emotional depth with him. Create an emotional depth with a man. Then there is the self assured woman. She's not proud. She's not arrogant. She's not loud. She's just sure of herself. She's a woman who knows she is desirable, but she doesn't chase. She will never chase. She knows she's valuable, but she doesn't flaunt it. She's a woman who knows she's wanted, but she doesn't beg for attention. Men fall in love with women who do not need them emotionally, but choose them intentionally. Are you hearing me? Let me say it again. Men fall in love with women who do not need them emotionally, but choose them. They choose these men intentionally. So when he feels chosen by this woman, not used, not tolerated, not begged, but chosen, it hits a part of him that his ego alone cannot touch. That's where emotional loyalty begins. And now I'm going to tell you the final type. It is the one that finishes men, the woman with emotional presence. This is the woman who is fully there. Her attention is intense but gentle. Her energy is open but controlled. Her touch is soft but conscious. She connects on all levels. She's attuned to his feeling. She feels with him, not at him. See, emotional presence is one of the rarest things a man can experience. And when he feels it, even once, even just once, it binds him. Because men are starved of being seen. And a woman who sees him, really sees her man, becomes unforgettable and irresistible. So, my love, the reason some women make a man fall in love after sex and others don't is simple. The bonding chemicals, the emotional triggers, the psychological openings, they only activate around a woman whose energy his soul recognizes as safe, calming, feminine, meaningful, confident, present. That's the combination that cannot shake. That's the combination he remembers. And that's the combination he falls for without even realizing that he's already gone. Do you understand what I'm saying? My door is open. Let me close it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, let's talk about the part women need to hear, even if it stings a little. Because just like there are things that trigger a man's emotional attachment, there are also things that shuts down a man's emotional attachment instantly, immediately. Because you can be everything he needs in the bedroom. You can give him the kind of sex that touches his soul. But if you carry certain energies, certain habits, certain emotional patterns, his mind will block the bond before it even forms. So sex is not a problem. You can be fucking good in bed, but you don't have the connection with him outside of the bed. The connection is what it is. So it is a connection that is the key. And the connection dies when a woman does these following things that I'm going to mention. The first thing that destroys a man's ability to bond is emotional volatility. And I'm going to tell you the truth. Listen to me, especially the young ladies, right? Because a lot of us women will confuse intensity for passion. We think that being fiery, being reactive, being dramatic, being loud, being unstable makes a man feel wanted. No, it makes his nervous system go into survival mode. And when a man's nervous system enters survival mode, he cannot attach to you. There is no way. He cannot soften for you. He cannot trust you. See, men bond with women who feel safe, not with women who feel unpredictable. Now, the second bonding killer is performing femininity instead of embodying it. A lot of us women, we try to act soft, we try to act calm and, just playful, especially during sex, thinking it will make the man feel more emotionally connected, but not lie. Men feel energy, not performance. They can tell when a woman is forcing softness instead of leaving it. So real femininity isn't giggling, isn't whispering, isn't posing. Real femininity is regulation. It is ease, it is depth, it is emotional fluidity. When he feels you performing, it activates his distrust, not his attachment. Do you understand? Not his attachment. That's why you shouldn't pretend. Now, the next one is needing too much too soon. I am not talking about wanting a relationship. I am talking about energetically clinging to him, wanting reassurance every moment, every second, over asking, over explaining, over texting, over emphasizing what you feel. See, when a man feels the pressure of your neediness, he doesn't interpret it as love. He interprets it as emotional responsibility. And nothing shuts down a male bonding faster than the feeling that he has to now become in charge of your self-esteem. Nothing shuts a man down. Now let's talk about the fourth one real quick because it's subtle but deadly. It is using sex to compensate for emotional emptiness. A man can feel when a woman is using intimacy to fill a void. He might enjoy the sex for the minute, for the time being. He might come back for the pleasure, but he will never attach. He will never stay. He will never attach to you emotionally because his subconscious knows that you are feeding off him. You're not connecting with him. Because listen to me, emotional hunger has a scent. And men can smell it real fast, baby. They smell it a mile away. And it makes them keep you at arm's length no matter how good you are in bed. Then there is lack of emotional presence. A lot of us women think presence is about being passionate, being loud, being sensual. No, presence is about being there with him emotionally, holding him down emotionally, feeling him, responding to him, breathing with him, attuning with him. Many of us women are physically present but emotionally absent. We're lost in our heads, even during sex. We're thinking about performance. We're thinking about how we look. We're thinking about how he's thinking about us. See, when a woman is not present, when a woman is not emotionally present, he only enjoys the body, but he will never bond with the soul. And when the soul isn't involved, attachment cannot form. And there's one more. And this one is the quietest killer. Being too available emotionally too early. When you as a woman, you give a man emotional loyalty before he earns it. When you give him emotional access before he reciprocates, emotional openness, you give emotional openness before he matches your energy. His mind registers you as someone he doesn't have to work for. And men do not bond deeply with what comes too easily. Men bond with what feels meaningful, not what feels convenient. So here's the truth in the simplest form that I can give to you. I need you to know this, that male bonding is delicate, very delicate. It can be triggered gently or it can be shut down instantly. And the woman who understands this don't overgive, they don't overshare, they don't over explain, they don't over chase, they don't overexpose their emotions too early. They know how to create emotional safety without creating emotional pressure. They know how to open without being overwhelming. They just know how to be feminine without trying to perform. And of course, they know how to connect without losing themselves. So these are the takeaway today. All right. And I hope you did enjoy this. This is where we're going to wrap it all up until I come your way when I do come your way. If you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. And thank you so much. All right. Thank you so much for being here. I do love you and God loves you best. Mwah. See you when I see you.